You know the story? The last son of a dying planet rocketed to Earth to become its greatest hero? But what if I told you that the simple answer, the yellow sun gives him powers, is just the first chapter of a much bigger story? His powers had absolutely nothing to do with the sun. The comics described him as being able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. But notice that word, leap. He couldn't fly, not yet. He was incredibly strong and faster than a speeding bullet. But his powers were all about physical skill, not godlike abilities. Modern comics and movies have tried to add some layers of comic book science to make it all feel more plausible. Today, his powers are chalked up to a mix of his unique Kryptonian biology and the way he processes solar energy. Every new movie and TV show has put its own spin on the origin. The classic Christopher Reeve Superman from 1978 really locked the yellow sun explanation into pop culture, showing Clark's powers showing up slowly as he grew up under its light. Do you prefer the more grounded, gravity-based strongman or the cosmic solar-powered hero? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this little trip through comic book history, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. The TV show Smallville literally spent 10 seasons exploring that idea, with Clark's powers developing gradually and often being tied to his emotions as a teenager. His cells are described as being incredibly dense, way denser than a human's, which helps explain why he's so invulnerable. It's that super dense molecular structure, charged up by the sun. The answer isn't just one sentence. It's a story that's been growing and changing for over 80 years. It started with a clever gravity trick that made him a super strong visitor on a new world. Then, it transformed with the yellow sun, which turned him into a solar-powered god with an endless list of abilities. Every generation has added its own little twist, tweaking the science and mythology behind the world's very first superhero. It's the go-to reason for his amazing strength and toughness. This first version of Superman was a brawler, or him manipulating a bioelectric aura that his body creates. In fact, that same aura is often used to explain how his suit does and just gets shredded. Every time he flies at Mach 2 or picks up a tank, other powers, like his heat vision, are explained as him just releasing all that stored-up solar energy in a focused blast. It's all pure science fiction, of course. But these details help build a consistent logic for how one guy can do so many incredible things. A champion for the little guy whose strength came from a simple, elegant physics trick. A guy built for a heavy gravity world thriving on a light gravity one. It showed Superman's body being totally overwhelmed by Earth's environment at first, treating his new powers like a sensory overload he had to learn to master. This modern take really blends the yellow sun theory with Kryptonian evolution, suggesting his powers come from both his environment and his advanced DNA. The original explanation was way simpler and pulled straight from the science fiction of the era. See, his creators, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, said Superman came from Krypton, a planet with insane gravity. Since he grew up on a world with such a crushing gravitational pull, his body was just naturally way more powerful and durable than a normal human's. The real history of how Superman got his abilities is a wild, and sometimes contradictory, ride through decades of comic book history. From a simple strong man to a solar god, this is how the Man of Steel's powers actually evolved. Let's go back to 1938, when Superman first smashed a car on the cover of Action Comics #1. So when he got to Earth with its much weaker gravity, he was a physical marvel. But as Superman's popularity exploded, the kinds of adventures he went on got bigger, too. Leaping buildings just wasn't going to cut it when writers wanted him to fight alien invaders or deal with futuristic tech. So, to explain his growing list of powers, they introduced a new power source that would change the character forever. In the late 1940s and early 50s, the whole yellow sun idea was born. This became the new, permanent explanation. The thinking was that Krypton orbited an old red sun, which didn't give Kryptonians any special abilities on their home planet. But Earth's younger yellow sun was a different story. Its unique solar radiation basically supercharged Superman's Kryptonian cells, turning his body into a living solar battery. This one change opened the floodgates. All of a sudden, he wasn't just leaping, he was flying. He developed heat vision, X-ray vision, and super breath. This yellow sun retcon didn't just give him new powers, it also gave him a brand new weakness. The yellow sun could power him up, a red sun could take it all away, giving writers the perfect tool to challenge a hero who was quickly becoming unbeatable. Now that the sun was his official power source, flight is sometimes explained as a kind of subconscious telekinesis. And, of course, this story didn't just stay on the page. More recently, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel leaned hard into the idea of adaptation. So, how did Superman get his powers? What's your favorite take on Superman's powers?